Caution! The AJ and Quill show contains D&D content and is intended for a D&D audience. And, besides that, they're really weird.
The red-scaled host with fire in his veins, strategic depths where no fear remains. From mighty battles to the cunning foe, roll the dice, let the tactics flow.
Today we're going to unleash our rage, and we're going to show you how to build the indomitable Karlach Cliffgate from Baldur's Gate 3 as a tabletop character inside the new D&D 2024 rules.
Greetings, mother.
Now here are Karlach's stats from the game, and these are really good, so we're going to use these as the basis for creating our tabletop character. For Karlach, we want to tap into her core identity, so that's fiery rage, incredibly tough, surprisingly big heart, and her infernal engine.
She put a hellfire engine in my chest.
These are the things we want to highlight and focus to give the proper feel to this character if you're going to play them on the tabletop. First things first, Karlach's a Tiefling. Karlach's very essence is bound to the Nine Hells. Her infernal engine, the source of all her power and her ultimate torment are all directly linked to the Nine Hells. So under Fiendish Legacy, we're going to pick Infernal. As a bonus, this also is the only one that gives her fire resistance, which she absolutely needs because she's basically a living furnace that you want to make out with.
I said, hold up, wait a minute.
Now, as she grows in power, her Infernal Legacy will grant her Hellish Rebuke and Darkness. These are great spells. Hellish Rebuke is good for a frontline fighter. Use it whenever she gets hit to kind of unleash this fiery retort. Darkness is a fantastic spell. While Barbarians can't concentrate on spells while they rage, this does give her a lot of utility outside of combat, or if she needs to, say, block line of sight for archers that she can't reach. She just can't use it when she's raging. So, Infernal Legacy. For Fiendish Legacy spells, we're going to choose Wisdom as her spellcasting modifier. Next, her background. Inside the game, Karlach's background is Outlander, but Outlander doesn't exist anymore inside the new D&D 2024 rules. So we're going to have to choose a different one. Now, your background is what gives you stat bonuses, and we'll show the stat bonuses here for which backgrounds boost which ones. Based on this, we're going to choose Soldier.
10 years ago, I was sold to the Archdevil Zariel. She put a hellfire engine in my chest and made me her prize soldier. So
Soldier background isn't just a good mechanical fit for her, it's also foundational to her past and all of her combat experience. For skill proficiencies, it gives her athletics and intimidation, which she had as her character right here. And we can use her class to fill out the rest. For gaming set, we're going to choose Dice, because in Baldur's Gate there's a game called Baldur's Bones. It's a dice game. Karlach probably plays it. For ability scores, we're going to boost her strength by 2 and her con by 1. We'll show you that when we make her stats after. Alignment-wise, Karlach is chaotic good. Now, for the fun bit of choosing her personality traits, Karlach was an Outlander, so we can use these suggested characteristics to kind of fill out that part. So for Karlach, we're going to choose, I watch over my friends as if they were a litter of newborn pups, and I can stare down a hellhound without flinching. That one's actually from the Soldier background. For ideals, we're going to choose Greater Good. It's each person's responsibility to make the most happiness for the whole tribe. This seems fitting for Karlach. For bonds, we're going to say, I will bring down terrible wrath to the evildoers, Gortash, who destroyed my homeland, or, in her case, her life. And for flaws, there's no room for caution in a life lived to the fullest. Next, we pick her class. Karlach is very famously a Barbarian. Now, we're going to start her at level 1, but then we'll advance to level 3 to pick her subclass. So, core Barbarian traits. For the 2 skill proficiencies, we're just going to pick the other 2 skill proficiencies that weren't in this, to try to make her as close to the original character as possible. So, Perception, Survival. In the new 2024 rules, there's Weapon Mastery. It's a fun little thing. For Karlach, we're going to pick Great Axe. And sticking with the axe theme, we're going to pick Hand Axe. Now, you can change these whenever you finish a long rest, but for now, starting, we're just going to pick those. Now the fun bit, we're going to pick our subclass. The default in the game is the Wildheart Barbarian, which does exist inside the 2024 rules, but I think there's a better fit.
Hi, Billy Mays here.
We're going to instead choose Path of the Zealot Barbarian. Much like the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz, Karlach has heart problems. And we think that the features you gain in the Path of the Zealot are going to help better play those out on a tabletop game. And ultimately, she was a Zealot inside Zariel's army in the Nine Hells.
I'm free now, and I'm never going back!
So it's not like this is off point at all. Path of the Zealot Barbarians walk the Path of the Zealot, and they receive boons from their god or pantheon. Well, in Karlach's case, it's coming from Zariel and that infernal engine that was placed in her heart. In the video game, there are bonuses that her infernal engine provides her when she rages, and we think we can represent those much better using Path of the Zealot. Plus, thematically, it feels appropriate. She was a Zealot in Zariel's army, so we're going to choose that one. Primal Knowledge, we're just going to pick the other skills. We're going to pick Nature. Now, the reason we picked Path of the Zealot over Path of the Wildheart is because we think these features can help represent what her infernal engine is doing. At level 3, a Zealot Barbarian gains Divine Fury. In the game, whenever she rages, she does extra fire damage from her infernal engine heart. This can represent that. Once on each of your turns, while your rage is active, the first creature you hit with a weapon or unarmed strike takes an extra 1d6 plus half your barbarian level, rounded down, extra damage, either radiant or necrotic. It's fire damage in the game, but you can use radiant damage to kind of represent that fire damage. It's not a perfect match, but it's pretty close, and this extra damage scales with her barbarian level, making her hits consistently devastating. At level 3, she also gets Warrior of the Gods. This is a new feature. This is where her sheer toughness shines through. Basically, barbarians get a pool of hit dice that they can spend as a bonus action to heal themselves while raging. It's like the infernal engine inside her chest is just absolutely refusing to let her die. And the maximum number of dice increases as she levels, so it's consistently good. At level 6, she gains Fanatical Focus, so once per active rage, if she fails a saving throw, she can roll it with a bonus equal to her rage damage bonus. This really highlights her mental stubbornness and how her rage helps her overcome debilitating effects. At level 10, she gains Zealous Presence. At this level, she can let out this massive battle cry. Grants advantage on attack rolls and saving throws to her allies. Now, she can only use this once per long rest, but she should absolutely use it every combat. And level 14, Rage of the Gods. In the game, Karlach never makes it to level 14. It caps out at level 12. So, thematically, what this could be is eventually she finds a way with damage help or whatever to repair or even replace her infernal engine, and you can roleplay this as the outcome. This is her ultimate transformation. When she rages, she assumes this new divine warrior form. She gains flight, resistance to necrotic, psychic, and radiant damage, and most importantly, has revivification. This is the epitome of Karlach's protective fury. She loves her friends so much she's literally pulling them back from the brink of death. Now, we think you can use all of those features from the Path of the Zealot to better play a Karlach character with the actual feel of having that infernal engine in her chest, using those features to kind of represent that. Next, abilities. So Karlach's starting abilities are shown right in the game, and we think we can copy that using what we have so far. So we're going to put her strength to 15, and her constitution to 14. These are the most important stats. Strength is what she uses to attack, and it's really important for barbarians and frontline fighters. Con is what she uses to defend herself. She absorbs damage rather than avoiding it. We're going to put her dex to 13. Dex is really important for barbarians. Her intelligence can stay at 8. We're going to put her wisdom to 12 and her charisma to 10 because she's so charming. Now with the bonuses we got from soldier, 2 to strength, 1 to con, we have the 17, 13, 15, 8, 12, 10 that Karlach had in the game. So we got lucky, her stats were easy to match. Now for equipment. So we're going to give her her starting equipment. We'll pick the great axe, 4 hand axes, that's why we chose that as our second weapon mastery. Explorer's pack and 15 gold, perfect. And then these are the ones from soldier. And we'll just choose dice as her tool. Equip her great axe, some hand axes. Now when I make a character, whenever they get a backpack, I just like to say what kind it is. Hers was an explorer's pack. That just helps it keep it organized in my mind. And there you have it. There's Karlach. This is as close to a tabletop representation of an in-game character that we think you're going to get. And if you're going to play Karlach in a game, we think this is a great way to do it. Using the Path of the Zealot features, you can really represent what that infernal engine is doing to her and roleplay that out. And when you're roleplaying, emphasize that she has a very good heart, even if it is mechanical. And that heart now points all of that fury and rage into a righteous direction. Now if you're going to level this character up, here's some suggestions. We take her to level 12. For feats, ability score improvement is always great. Bump her strength, bump her constitution. Those are her 2 most important things. Other than that, you can take Great Weapon Master. This will boost her strength by 1, and it's a useful feat. Other useful feats for Karlach. Sentinel is a fantastic feat for her. Sentinel is great for a frontline tank. It lets them control the battlefield, and it stops enemies who try to push past them. And bump her strength or dex depending on what you've done so far. Another fun feat you might want to consider is Tavern Brawler. It just seems fitting for Karlach. While mechanically this isn't optimal, you're much better off picking an ability score improvement, but still thematically this is quite fun. Now how should Karlach fight in combat? So the first thing in combat Karlach should always do, without question, is rage. After she rages, she should charge into the bulk of the melee opponents and start hitting things. Barbarians get reckless attack. Karlach should absolutely use reckless attack. It gives her advantage on the hits, and it gives her enemies advantage on attacking her. This is essentially a taunt. It makes her more appealing to hit as opposed to everyone else, which is what you want as a tank because Karlach is designed to take those hits, whereas the squishier characters like Gale or Asterion really aren't. And there you have it. There's Karlach Cliffgate from the Baldur's Gate 3 game, made as close as we can reasonably approximate her inside the D&D 2024 rules. She's a fun thematic character. She won over everybody's hearts as everybody's favorite lovable barbarian, aside from Minsk. Her stats match the game as close as we can make him, and we think the features granted by the Path of the Zealot Barbarian better reflect how her infernal engine would emphasize her raging. So hope you have fun playing Karlach. Let us know in the comments who you'd like to see next.
You keep yourself well and able, and I'll come find you when I'm fixed.
The dice decide, but no regrets. Wings of power, the dragon's might. In crumble when we cast force. Spells erupt with their blazing course. Bind your saving, throw your ACs tight. In this lair we own the fight. In the shadow of Flame's domain, we bend the rules, we break the chain. Critical strikes with a fiery roar. Level up like never before.